Hello everyone and blessed be. I'm on my lunch break from work in the living room. And so I thought it'd be fun, nice to check out the Witchy garden and kind of show you how things are doing. So my snapdragons, some are, expired and others are coming up. I did see Bumble. There's one of my crow friends. They now know, and when they see me out here, they yell, and I think they're telling everybody there she is. But anyhow, so I saw a little bumblebee popping itself in one of those, which I loved. And then this is my little, he's a solar power light, a little squirrel. Got him from the dollar store. But they seem to be doing good. And then this planter over here is going crazy. That's the oregano. And then over there is the lemon thyme. It's also over here. My beans are starting to grow. Some leaves have holes in them, but you can see it's starting to make its climb up. So I am going to have to get creative about finding some other sticks or something. And that right there is usnea. Really amazing stuff. I left it on the stick that looks like the protection ruin. It was there, so I just kind of left it there. Down here, this little, it's a table, it's supposed to look like a mushroom that I made with polymer clay a couple years ago. And the edges and the stem, which you can't see, have glow-in-the-dark clay in it because I love glow-in-the-dark. And so it will glow a bit at night. And then there's the two little leaf chairs and the little leaf bowl and a little cup. There's a couple other cups somewhere in the dirt. They get knocked over when I water. And then the little mushroom and my welcome sign. I did not make the mushroom or the sign. And then there's a little bridge by it. And in the winter, everything kind of dies off and goes quiet, and you can see that stuff more. But in the growing season, it gets buried in there like a forest. So I love that. This plant right here is the Aubrey Camino plant. I did find out that it's an annual. So, I don't know. When I planted it, it stopped dying because it was dying very quickly no matter what I did. And I figured I'll just see what happens. Like I said, I'm not an expert at gardening by any means, so if anybody knows Aubrey Camino thoroughwort, let me know. Over here is my Buddy. This is lemongrass. And I put that poor little lemon balm that was in the hospital spot in here with him. And since then, it has stopped dying. Now, a lot of the bad leaves have died off, but it is actually, if you can see, getting new leaves. So, and the leaves that are there look very healthy, so it looks like it's bouncing back, and I guess it too just wanted a friend. And over here, this is the one that whole back was a carpet of yarrow. And I came out here last weekend and sat down in a chair and tried to thin it out. Again, I'm no expert, but what I did notice is when I parted it, kind of like you would part hair, that even though there was so many of them, the roots were just not deep at all. They were all, anyhow, it looked kind of bad. So I went through and did a bit of thinning. I'm sure at some point I'm going to have to do it again. But they all seem to be doing good. They kind of fell over after I thinned them, which freaked me out, but they're bouncing back. And down here, my rue, you see that? That's starting to pick up. Of course, there's a couple yarrow plants tucked in there that I'm just letting them do their thing. And then the lemon balm is really coming in good. This was a starter plant that I got along with the one that was in the hospital bed. So I'm excited about that. Citronella plant is growing well. I just watered them. Over here, that chocolate mint is looking really healthy. It's kind of flopping around, but from the poor condition it was by the time I got it, no fault of the seller. Like I said, it was in post office jail. It looks to be doing really good. These again are mystery plants that came from those butterfly seed papers. And there's the 2 rosemaries. Very, very healthy. And this one that was having all the problems, it still has some of those half brown leaves on it here and there, but all the new growth, if you can see that, is so healthy. And it's really bouncing back now that it has a friend. Hey, you know. Over here, the lemongrass seeds are perking up. Now, I've realized that I like that planter way more than this one. The problem with this, maybe if it was tilted this way, but with it tilted down and you water it, the water and the dirt will run off. And if it was just the water runoff, that would be fine, but it's not. And there's some of the lunchbox peppers that I left. The other ones I've transplanted. The peppermint is growing good. Absolutely nothing happening with the wormwood. So, I guess we could call that a wrap, but I still keep watering it just in case. There's 2 calendula plants. I took the 3rd one out and put it in a big planter. This is the lettuce. It's time to do some harvesting, I believe. And down here, which was the hospital plant, there's 2 of the chocolate mints. And there, what I thought was maybe a sage plant appears to be more lettuce. Again, this was planted from seed. You water it, the water and the dirt will drip down, so I'm sure the seeds just found their way down there. This, however, right there, I'm not sure what it is. Let's be honest. And then over here, like I said, this is my favorite between the 2, even though this horizontal one cost a lot more. This I am in love with. Love another one of these. But so over here we have the chamomile. In the last video it was bunched and very small, so I did go through and thin it out a bit in the places where it was pretty bunched. Sure, I'm gonna have to do that again, but I also kind of tried to spread some of the plants out. This is the other calendula flower, and we got a friend. She's checking me out. Hey, baby. You want your peanuts? Can you give me just a sec? Okay, baby, just a minute. I'll hurry up. This is the garden sage. That is where the sweet little... What are you doing? What you doing, honey? These are the calendula flowers. They've all gotten, or almost all gotten, their 2nd leaves. Some are working on even their 3rd leaves. These are the lunchbox peppers that I moved from the horizontal or the vertical one Over here, these are the peppers. They are much bigger. And then we have the bee balm plant that is almost up to my armpit right now. And my blueberry plant, I don't know if it's gonna fruit because there's no pollination because the other one didn't make it. But then we have, oops, snapdragons down there, and that green mint plant is going crazy. Somebody let their dog out. Also too, the other day when I was out here, we had a horrific monsoon rain. Well, I loved it, but the tarp worked well, this funky spout worked well, but it can only take so much. So I'd put the bucket down there, otherwise the water would overflow onto here and defeat the whole purpose of keeping it dry. And so that was full, so I came out in the morning. I was getting ready to dump it, but I figured I'd use some of the water to water plants first, because these are undercover, so they get watered when I water them. And as I was doing that, I'm over here and I'm watering, and I heard this plunk. And I had to look around at first. And I looked in that bucket, and I kid you not, a bumblebee had fallen in there and was flailing. And so I'm not going to go get my camera to film it. It needed to be rescued. So I took my little cup that I was using to water everything, and I gently scooped it out, and I went and laid it in the grass. And then I stayed out here and kind of watched it. It was out there somewhere, and I watched it. You know, I mean, I couldn't tell what it was doing. I'm sure it was trying to catch his breath and dry off a bit and all that, but it did eventually fly away. But it kind of tucked itself in one of the curled leaves and just like rested there for a while, and I was worried it wasn't going to make it, but it did fly off. So it was a little bit unnerving. I was kind of worried. But anyhow, that's a quick update. I better go do my duty and feed Miss Squirrel, Mrs Squirrel, because she's gonna come back. She's expecting her lunch now. Anyhow, just wanted to share a quick update with you. Hope everybody is staying safe. Blessed be.